Hey everyone, Culver here. Welcome to another Rachel Legends Faction Wars video. In this one, guys, we'll be going over the Lizardmen faction. We're gonna say which champions, in my opinion, are the best ones to go through and actually beat up to stage 20 and possibly stage 21. Of course, I do have Chris. He was the key, at least for my team, to beating stage 21. I did not have him up until then, but there are a few champions in there that would definitely help you reach until stage 20, and then with some tweaking and some strategy actually beating stage 21. So quickly going over the legendaries. Of course, all the legendaries are very important to have in Lizardmen. If you don't have them, then you should be trying to get at least the epics leveled up, because those will be also very important in your success in Faction Wars 21. Of course, I'm gonna say that Skull Lord plays a very significant role in all the stages, even stage 21, just because of his passive with Skullsworn, where he revives him every time he gets a turn. So building your team overall to get as many turns as possible, so about 200 speed, will bring you to getting more turns than the enemy. So about 2 turns for every 1 turn the enemy team does take. And if that happens, then you'll be taking, some reviving that Skullsworn, and he'll be actually the target of every single enemy in the faction wars. You're gonna see that in action once we go in there. So overall, Skull Lord is just amazing if you do have him. Razin is a free-to-play available champion. If you do have all the rares, you also can summon Razin, and he'll definitely carry you through there. But he's not that significant of a carry. A real significant carry, and you might not think of it, is Broadmouth. Broadmouth is another fusion that is available to everyone. And the way that he carries you through is because he has a 5-turn revive of 2 dead allies, and he also places a block damage buff on them for 1 turn. So he's great in the way that he will revive them and also heal them. So I do think that if you're having significant troubles and you want to progress through right now and not wait to get lucky with the legendary, then Broadmouth summoning would be an option. A few great champions from the epics are, of course, Jarek. That's the one I used. He does have an attack down on his A1 and an ally protection and increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns on his A2. Very important to keep everybody protected and healthy throughout the enemy AoEs or bosses attacking you. So he also has a way to apply a continuous heal buff. Having healers in the Lizardman is not that common, so even having, Jarek would be good for your team. I did not have Broadmouth, by the way. I think I did have him, but not leveled up. I didn't use him. What I used for revives instead was actually Haruspex. He's a void rare. I had him at level 50, and the reason I had him was because of his A3. Revives a dead ally with 30% HP, then fills the turn meter by 30%. Very important in case somebody dies that's not Skullsworn. If Skullsworn dies, then we're fine. He will get revived. If somebody else dies and we don't have a revive, that's not a 3-star win. We need those 3 stars in order to get that successful 63 stars in Faction Wars. So very important. Haruspex, I think he's such a fantastic champion. When you open up those voids, don't overlook Haruspex. I think he's just a great champion to have. The other epics that I would like to say is Basilisk. Basilisk has a revive on himself for a 6 turn cooldown, so he can also be useful for your team. He does have an AoE A1, so you can definitely equip him with a stun set and get through the waves way easier. And if you do need that additional stun, he has that on his A2. I think he's also a very important epic. All the other ones can be useful. For example, Jizzo is such a good champion for his counterattack, and he can apply it on an ally. But the most important ones, in my opinion, is Broadmouth, Basilisk, and Jarek out of the epics in terms of priorities for 60. Then we go over to Haruspex for the rares. Out of all these rares, I did not find anybody that useful for my team. I was using Soros for some time up until reaching stages where he was very squishy, even with a stun set, with HP and defense substats. He was very squishy. He would die very consistently, and I needed a more tanky team. That's why I had Skullsworn. I had Skullsworn, I had Skull Lord, I had Razin, so that's 3. I had Haruspex, that's 4. And then I would interchange going with Soros and Jarek in there, but I did find that Soros had to be replaced after a few levels. So I think at the stage 15, I had to replace Soros with something more tanky because I just couldn't get through the waves. But he definitely will help you get there with a stun set, and he can then be made as, just a farmer for your campaign. So enough with the talk. Let's go in the faction wars, and I'm going to talk you through stage 21 and what you should expect in stage 21. This is my team. This is how I built it. Of course, 3 very strong legendaries. Skullsworn is the weakest one of them all, the lowest HP out of everybody else. Look at that that bar of health, and he will be getting attacked by all these all the time. Once that provoke, of course, finishes, once the shield wears off, he will be targeted by all these enemies, and it's just going to make your life way, way harder if you don't have this synergy with Skull Lord and Skullsworn. So the provoke there. We already took them low with just all my other champions, but the shield is gone now from Skullsworn, and he will get attacked just because he is the lowest health out of all my team. He does have a counter that he applies on himself, which is nice when you've got a War Master on him. He does some damage, but nothing crazy. I don't have him there for the damage. I have him there to be the target dummy of the team. So there it is. There's Razin. And very strong sets in the faction wars, as always, guys, are shield sets, stun sets, and immortal sets. In my opinion, those are the top 3 sets that you should be using. Stun sets, that's obvious. You need more control when you don't actually have it through your skills. Shield sets are important to get through wave 1 and wave 2 because on each wave you'll be resetting basically that shield, and me having it on my Krisk basically makes this an easy mode stage 21. And also because of his other kit that abilities that are available for me right now. But of course, even if you do not have Krisk, wave 1 and wave 2 for stage 21 are not that hard, especially because there's no Valkyrie, there's no Martyrs here. So actually beating stage 21 was way easier than all other stage 21s, in my opinion. Once you reach stage 21, you have the champions already, and you will be able to clear it with no real issue. The only issue might be actually here, just removing the unkillable from Paragon, but he didn't get a turn. You guys see now that we barely have our shield removed. Everybody is very healthy, and we actually beaten stage wave 2 at about 2 minutes 30. Didn't take too long, but definitely much easier than other stages where Valkyries would be here, and you would need to have absolute control over the Valkyries. Let's go over to the boss and see what the boss brings to our team and how we can actually beat it. So this boss does not have the 2 adds that are usually present in other faction war stages 21. So let's go over his skills. His passive fills this this champion's turn meter by 2% for every 1% of HP they lose when attacked. This is counted from the damage taken per hit. So he will just be getting turn meter whenever he's hit. Very, very easy passive there to understand. Removes all debuffs from this champion, places a true fear debuff on a random enemy for 1 turn, places a stun debuff on all enemies except that enemy for 1 turn. These debuffs cannot be resisted, grants an extra turn. This is very annoying when it happens, but it's not game breaking. We do not have poisoners in our team. We don't have real debuffers in here. We do have the decreased attack by Jarek and by Skull Lord and by Krisk. We do have that weaken and defense down by Razin. Definitely helps, but Razin here will be clutch for his A3. That's a full turn meter reduction. Skills, so having some skill books on Razin, which you should have already because of Clan Boss, will definitely be key for you to beating this stage. And then of course you're gonna see Skullsworn getting attacked after our shield wears off, and because the fight will go for about 2 minutes or so. So the important thing is to have a target for the boss to use his A1, attacks one enemy, will ignore the target's defense. You guys already know that our champions are not all HP focused. Of course, many of them do focus on defense. So my Razin, my Jarek already focus on defense. But look at that Skullsworn getting the hits in. He's just trying to survive there. He's gonna get another hit next turn, but his old daddy Skull Lord will revive him, and if that didn't happen, then we would actually lose that 3-star mark. But once you see Skull Lord taking a turn, there he is. His boy is back up. We go back in, and then the boss takes a turn. The key here is this reaction, guys. Once you get through the waves, which are much easier, as I said before, it's gonna make your life way easier. So there, I don't know why our Chris got attacked, but Skullsworn will be revived right now, and then he should be the next target for the boss. So everybody's much healthier than Skullsworn, so boom, there he got attacked. Oh, it was through Ally Protect, I think. Is that why we lost our health? Probably, yeah. Ally Protect. There we go, there's the stun and the fear. Please, guys, just count how many how many times Skullsworn will die in this whole fight. It's just gonna be funny. I think this is the 4th time he dies. He revives again. There's no limit to that. The boss does not have a block revive, so this is gonna be happening. And the only way this happens is if you do have Skullsworn at a very lower health than everybody else. So you saw Razin's Day 3 there, completely removed that turn meter from the boss, gave us basically a few more extra turns to recover, and in case Skullsworn was dead, to actually just revive him. But here, stage 21 is just way easier. There we go. The boss should be down, but as I said, the tricky part is actually reaching stage 21, and the champions that I featured in my first 5 minutes of the video will be definitely helpful in bringing you just to stage 21 and actually then having to figure out a way to clear it. The thing is, if you do not have Skull Lord, then you will have to go in here with a ton of HP and ways to spread around Ally Protect to all your champions. And of course, Broadmouth here for the revives will be definitely important if you do not have, this Skull Lord, Skullsworn combo. So guys, thanks a lot for watching this video, this Faction Wars video on stage 21. If you did happen to like it, leave a like down below, comment on which champions you found helpful in reaching, a higher stage on Faction Wars. Which stage is actually being more tricky to you? Maybe I can go back and make videos on those stages all the way up until the day that Lydia comes out. So I really want to help people out in actually beating the Faction Wars. And it's not easy. It does take a lot of resources, but I'm here to help you out, guys. So if anything, I can just give you more strategies and maybe showcase other champions that I might have and take those to 60 and use those instead to beat some other stages or stage 21 again. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.